About a year ago, I was at a clergy gathering talking with colleagues and their spouses and a handful of laity who had assisted with the event. And we were talking about the church in the pandemic, but also the church at large and where we were and the losses that we'd seen and often shrinking congregations and participation declining, volunteerism declining. A number of those present had children who were millennials, my generation, though kids often a little bit younger than I am or I was. And they were lamenting that their kids aren't a part of a church. They don't claim a church home anymore. They grew up in the church. They were loved by the church. They knew the church. And for the many reasons that many millennials have left the church, their kids also had left. And there was an obvious hole in those parents' hearts, an obstacle in their story, so to speak. But then they went on to share, a number of them, my kid doesn't want to be a part of a church. My kid doesn't claim the church. But you know what? When the parsonage needed a new roof, my kid was there. When we needed somebody to help care for the children as part of a ministry, my kids were there. They were showing up to be a part of this missional piece that is the church, of being together, of working side by side, of lending a hand where they could. And one older clergy spouse said, "But they aren't there on Sunday mornings." And I thought, there's the problem. The problem is many of us who have been a part of the church for ages, for decades, see church as Sunday morning participation. And it is that, but it's so much more. And a lot of the younger generations do not want that Sunday morning participation. Maybe because of work schedules, maybe because of family schedules, maybe because church as a Sunday morning thing just doesn't speak to them. But they do want to be part of making a difference. They do want to be part of creating change in this world so that things are better for people. And as long as we have this huge gap between the understandings of generations of what it means to do church or to be a part of the church, we're going to continue to shrink and to decline. But if we can reimagine what it means to claim a church, what it means to be part of a faith community, what it means to be part of the body of Christ, separate maybe from our buildings, separate maybe from the institution, separate maybe from the history, engaging in relationship, in ministry, in service, learning about who Jesus was by loving as he loved, then maybe we can find some intersection, some reconnection for the generations. But I think the church going forward is going to have to think differently. I think we're going to have to live differently. We can't expect that the old model is going to be what we need going forward. Friends, we are a healthy and vibrant church, and I think for us to be the church going forward, we're also going to have to do some reimagining, some rethinking, some redoing, so that we might reach those younger generations, so that we might reach the unchurched, so we might reach those of any generation that have stood outside of the church as an institution for whatever reasons. But sharing instead with them the good news of Jesus, of who he is as a redeemer, as a grace giver, as a peace offerer, as a justice worker, bringing change to this world. Take care, friends.